Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Unreal Return to Pali. On this episode, we're playing the Foundry Tarydium plant. And this level is rather long, and it will be divided again into two separate episodes. The video alone is about 30 minutes, so two 15-minute segments seems rather reasonable to me. Also, it took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to edit and record both segments, so it was a lot of effort with that. Anyways, we've got two large brutes to deal with. And I like to just kind of deal with them with the 8-ball. Do a tight circle of 8-ball rounds. And that'll really take care of a lot of hit points off of the brute. And we got him. There are a lot of bullets around here, so I would definitely use the auto mag quite a bit. There's also a machine gun around here too. And I'll get that eventually. Those ceilings right there, those glass ceilings, are breakable. And that's how you get the rifle rounds on top of that box there. This is a kind of a cool little switch puzzle. Well, not really a puzzle, but kind of a mechanical switch thing going on in the level. You'll see two plugs over there, and a wheel in between them. Well, guess what we gotta do? We gotta join those two plugs. And fortunately, there's a switch there, but before we do that, I wanted to double check and look behind you, because sometimes another skaarj will come back behind you and try to ambush you. I don't have any sniper rifle rounds. I was going to try to sniper him, but that's okay. Now I'm running at this point. I can't really show that because at this point, once you hit that switch, this is who comes out for you. And I got really lucky there. I'm going to get a lot of lucky blasts with the 8-ball, but I'm going to take some damage in this level as well. There's a lot of enemies. Some of the enemies just simply don't make any sense, but that's okay. You know, the game's still sort of interesting. I guess we just have to look around the weird plot holes and the invisible plot walls. And they give us about 300 rounds of bullets in this first section of the level. Now this switch will lower a lift, a platform. And up on this platform there are two skaarj troopers. Well, no, not skaarj troopers. Probably just skaarj infantry. I think one of them may be heavily armored. And as soon as you get up here, move. There's a lot of UMS boxes, which is kind of weird. So I'm not sure if the skaarj pulled them out of somewhere, or they couldn't figure out a way to give you combat assault rifle rounds, or what. I guess they were trying to give you some sort of consistency, but anyway. Right here I was trying to launch some grenades up here just in case. But the skaarj were not near that hole anyway. Thankfully one of them lowered on the platform here. And I was able to kind of take care of one of them. Hopefully this level's not too tedious for you to watch. I have made a few cuts in here to make it a little more interesting. But a lot of effort was made in this level because it was difficult. I practiced it twice, and then when I got ready to record it, I still had to make a few cuts and a few retries, a few mulligans, if you will. But that's the way I record. I like to make sure that each segment's interesting, and if the segment's not interesting to me, then I'll re-record it. Then I'll just splice it together. That way, at least you can see some interesting stuff that might happen. Otherwise, you know. I need to hit this switch again, but I'm going to grab some bullets. Well, I don't need any bullets. I'm full on bullets. They give you plenty of bullets in this level. Now, this lift is rather slow. I could have cut that out, but you wouldn't have seen how slow it was. So it's not that slow, you know. The rocket's not the best weapon against these guys. The combat assault rifle's really great, but still, they don't give us enough combat assault rifle rounds in this level for it to really be of that much use. You can use it a little bit, but you can't overuse it, you know. Definitely go up here for 8-ball rounds. The 8-ball is probably your best weapon in this area, in this level. I also realized that dividing the episodes into two parts is going to lengthen the Let's Play a little bit. But it's going to make it a lot easier for me, and a lot easier for me to spend a lot more time on each segment. Now there's no secrets, just FYI, in this level. But in the next level, I think there's one secret that's a little difficult to get. So I'm going to have to figure out something there anyway. That's the one thing I don't like about this level. It is rather long and it is rather tedious, but even so, it's still well designed. Although there is kind of a weird gimmick in it later, and you'll see that momentarily. You'll see that pretty soon, actually. If you remember, there was a gimmick, I don't know if you've played Quake 2, and I think it was even in Daikatana, which I hated that game. But anyways, there's a gimmick in Quake 2. If you remember, there was some sort of a factory in Quake 2. Well, they brought this gimmick back for this expansion pack for Unreal, and I think it's kind of stupid. Well, somewhat. But I guess they did the same gimmick in Half-Life 2. You'll see what I mean, viewers. At least I think they did in Quake 2. It's been years since I've played Quake 2. And I'm sorry there if there was kind of a delay in the video. This was about an hour and a half to 2 hours recording through Fraps, so every now and then it got a little slow. But hopefully that's about the limit. You can jump down there, by the way, to the lower level. And I would probably recommend it if you're low on bullets. Here I was sniffing out a skaarj. This is kind of cool. Watch this. Let's get the bullets first. Well, I guess we don't need the bullets. But right here, I wasn't sure where the hell the skaarj went. I was like, okay, I can hear him. Where'd he go? So I figured, hey, he's on the lower level, right? So I decided to jump down on the lower level, and guess what? I don't know if you saw him, but there he is. So actually, he was in a great spot here for me to just snipe the grenade, if that's possible. He didn't die there. But now he's dead. I like what they do with that. I like how they do that in this game. They kind of give you some sort of a false sense of security when you kill a skaarj, and you notice that he's really only pretending to be dead, or he may be injured and he's still not dead yet. I don't know what the rate of that happening is or not. But I'd say, from what I've noticed, it's probably 1 in 20 that it happens. And that's why I make sure these guys are dead. I've got a funny translator message here. I don't know what it would have said originally, but there's always going to be some sort of accident because you've got to kill this guy to get past this area. This is the gimmick that I was mentioning. I think they did something similar in Half-Life. You know, and I think they did something similar in Quake 2 as well. And this one's faster. But you know, if you remember, you saw this gimmick in the Valora Temple as well. In Unreal Return to Pali. And they, well, I don't know if the gimmick was exactly the same in the Temple of Vandora in the original Unreal. Because you remember there were booby traps there. Oh, this is a really bitchy part, because guess what? We've got a giant behemoth to deal with. And I find the best way to deal with these guys generally is the Flak cannon, because, I mean, every single particle up close is going to hit them. And it's going to deal a lot of damage. I tried to use an 8-ball in a tight circle, but 6 rounds in a tight circle is not enough to get rid of him. And so you'd still have to deal with him in tight quarters. There's also a skaarj up here. He tries to get the jump on you, but I knew where he was. Otherwise, he's going to jump down and push you into a corner there. Even though you have kind of an open hallway to deal with, I'd rather just deal with him quickly. Dispatch him. Disseminate him as quickly as possible. Here I was trying to see if this exploded, but it doesn't. This is actually the central, I guess, control room, if you will, from that U-shaped corridor we were at earlier. We can jump through this glass ceiling, and here we've got another brute. Thankfully he's in a tight corner, so I can just kind of rocket him to death. Call me the Rocket Man. Burning out my fuse out. Here, alone. Mars ain't no kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. Actually, I guess that would be more, makes sense for Doom, since on Doom you're on Mars and Phobos, or whatever. It was like the Phobos and then Deimos and Annalee and all that fun stuff. I like the rockets against these guys. Guess what, though? We have the pupaes. If I didn't mention, the pupaes are back. So, does this mean that we have the Skaarj Queen again? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we don't. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure we don't face the Skaarj Queen again. I think there was only one. And I kind of like that because it was kind of a unique enemy for the game Unreal. But, I haven't completely played through the end, I just know that there's no Skaarj Queen here for Unreal Return to Pali. We got him. Here I'm just making sure he's dead. And he's dead. Doesn't hurt for these guys to put in a couple of extra bullets. This is kind of a cool little area, by the way. Kind of a little control room on the left-hand side, and that's not a switch. It looks like a switch, but you can't operate it. I think that was meant to kind of control this bridge or something like that, but the bridge is broken. And what you want to do is, you could jump down there, but before you do that, take a look down here, because this is going to wrap around eventually. And you'll hear a behemoth or a skaarj and some pupaes walking around. But what you want to do is you want to jump across the bridge. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure those pupaes are at this point, but I don't think it matters that much. We'll deal with them when we deal with them. Now comes this fun part. Be prepared to be barraged by even more enemies. I kind of like the stinger against the pupa. And here, there's actually a Nolly behind this door, and a Nolly prisoner. And I find what's interesting is that he'll actually kind of beckon you over towards a shield belt, but you don't have to keep this Nolly alive, and chances are you may not be able to keep him alive. And you'll notice here we got an asbestos suit, which is nice, but you really won't need it that much. It's there if you need it, you know. There's a little bit of extra protection. Well, you might need it a little bit. Let's just put it that way. But we won't use it much in this part of this episode. Maybe in part 2, so stay tuned. These lifts are ungodly slow. I mean, I know it sounds like I really hate... I don't know if it sounds like I hate this game. I actually kind of like Unreal Return to Pali. I loved Unreal, don't get me wrong. And there's some really good things in Return to Pali. There's definitely some good challenges in this game, in this expansion pack. And I like that they put in new enemies and new weapons. An expansion pack, to me, doesn't have to be as long as the original game. It can be like half the length or a third the length. But as long as there's additional content and there's more of a challenge, then that's great. I mean, that's the way it should be. Because if you're going to pay, or if you're going to work to get an expansion pack to a game, you might as well get a challenge. Get something for your money, you know? Because assuming you've played through the original game, you're going to be well polished. Your skills are going to be practiced, you know? Now here's something pretty cool. You'll notice on the left-hand side there's kind of a temperature monitor here. I'm kind of moving around a little bit because I'm not sure what I want to show at this point. But you'll see the temperature's gone sky high, and that creates a rupture in this pipe. And that just loops back around. But anyway, that wraps up this episode of Let's Play Unreal Return to Pali. On the next episode, we're going to continue the Foundry and see where that busted pipe leads us. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.